Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Jesse, and here all I talk about is domain format. If you don't know what that is, you can check out this handy dandy video on how to play. But today is exciting because pretty much what everybody knows as Christmases 2 through 5, we got new sets out today. I was able to go down to an LGS in Portland, pick these up. I not only wanted to open these up with you guys, do box opening for these, I also just want to do a set review. So I'm pretty much going to be going over everything. After we open these, I'm going to switch over to a website so I can look at every single card and show you guys what I didn't open. And we'll talk about the archetypes in the set, and I will mention whatever I think is going to be interesting in domain. Before we get started though, if you like what I do, there are a lot of ways you can support me. I have a TCG Player affiliate link down below. If you guys use that before you go to TCG Player to buy singles or sealed, whatever you get, it will let them know that I sent you. I'll get a kickback at no cost to you. I have a merch shop down below. You can get mats or hoodies. I stream here on YouTube and Twitch. You can find all those links down below in my link tree. The best thing you can do though is completely free. You can just like the video. The more people who like it, hopefully the more people will learn about domain format. Everybody wins. And last thing, there's an invite to the Discord, the domain Discord down below. If you want to find other people to talk about domain format with, set up some online games, remote or simulator. If you want to see other domain format content creators, we're all hanging out there. So please check that out if you have not joined yet. Without further ado, let's open these bad boys up. Okay, I think you guys are gonna get a good angle from here. I'm excited about this set so much, you have no idea. There's so much good stuff for domain, so many fun archetypes. There's things I'm looking forward to playing in advanced. Like legitimately, I want to go to some regionals. I definitely want to go to a YCS too, but if I would go to a YCS, I wouldn't compete. I would go to just like, you know, talk to people about domain format and all that. But at a regional, I would definitely try and compete. I probably I'm having a lot of fun with the Chimera Fiendsmith deck. I love that deck. It's my favorite. And there's a couple new cards I want to try out here. Box number 1. Who had Arcana Force on their bingo card? Not me. Sinful Spoils. This is pretty much a new Chimera Fusion in the Chimera Fusion deck. Okay, this is a card I'm gonna have to talk about. This card's crazy for a common. Triangle Dragon of the Dark Deep. I have no idea what that does. Ripple Bird. I don't even know what this does. That must be one of the imports. 1, 2, 3, 4. More Arcana Force. Oh man. Okay, so it's 4 cards and then the rare. I think I'll try and scoot the back. Let's see if I do it this time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Lightstorm Dragon, dude. I'm actually hyped about this card. Mitsurugi, everybody's excited about that. Minimalian, Meta Reactor, Crestron. Mitsurugi, the Toil of the Normal. Normal support. Evil Heroes. Evil Heroes has some cool stuff. I'm excited to talk about those. Evil Assault, another Evil Hero card. Okay, I try and sort my stuff as I open it. We'll see how far I get. Materia Reactor, High Speed Glider. I have not read this card yet. I feel like there's a lot of cards I haven't seen yet. Mitsurugi, Primite. I'm really hoping to get another barrel. Or other Ether Barrel, I think is what it's called. Another Speedroid. Oh my gosh. This reminds me of 4 Mud Skipper. I wonder if this card's cool. Play the Diabell and... oh, wait, hold on. One more. Ooh. Gladiator Beast, dude! I am so pumped for Gladiator Beast. Gladiator Beast was one of the first decks I built for Domain. Diabell Star. Shadow Severing Strike. This card is another card I'm going to have to talk about later. It's got a lot of cool effects. Sharks. Don't think I care about Sharks, to be honest. Double Wild. This card's pretty interesting for any archetype that has like level 10s. Gladiator Beast, let's go. DD Post, a really interesting card. Tenyi, got an ultra rare. Got a reprint, one of the old, I can't remember what it's called. It like flipped a coin and then doubles its either attack or defense to not very impressive stats. And then Mitsurugi, Halloween. This is another cool card. There's so many cool cards for Domain in this set. I'm going through the box. I will talk about cards more specifically towards the end. Crestron. Another Retrain. This is another card I'll have to talk about. It's just kind of like a free fiend. Materia Reactor. The new Gladiator Beast Coliseum. Argo Stars. Crestron. Evil Hero. Legitimately, I'm probably never thought I'd like heroes, to be honest. But all this new Dark Hero support makes me want to build a Dark Hero deck. Dark Hero specifically, or Evil Hero, I should say. Hallow, Shadow Severing Strike, Speedroid card, Template Skipper, Speedroid. I didn't know Suship was getting more support. Is it Suship? I don't know. Can't tell. Eclipse Twins. I've heard a lot of hype about this card. I already have one friend who wants that off me. Metalmorph. Another really cool archetype that's getting way more support than I ever thought it would. Materiactor. Dark Supremacy. Arcana support. I'm so hyped about this card. I'll talk about it at the end of the video. Toil of the Normal. Light Force. Delta. This is Eldritch support. There we go. That was exactly what I was hoping for. I'm very excited to play incorporate some of the Azamina stuff into my Chimera deck. I'm hoping I get Azamina LZ. Materiactor, Goddess, Grand Knight, Metamorph. I love zombies, and this card has a lot of applications, I think. Zombies in general have been getting a lot of really cool support, to be honest. Ween, Gladiator, Double Wild, Dark Contact. Shark, Mitsurugi, Materiactor, Crystron, Play the Diabel, Mitsurugi, Hydor, the base of all things. I think I saw this. This is kind of like water support. Evil Hero and Speedroid. Halloween, Minimalian, Crystron, Arcana, Double Wild, Template Skipper, Play the Diabel. Oh, okay. Apparently 6 Samurai against support. Woohoo! Tenyi Suruya? Nice. I hear the new Tenyi support makes people want to try out Tenyi Sword Soul again. Materiactor. Evil Hero. Lightstorm. Light Force. Speedroid stuff. Crystron. I got one of the Mitsurugi rituals. I know a lot of people are excited about that. I'm going to be real. I haven't read too much about it. I am excited about Primite, though. Hopefully I get another barrel. Or Ether barrel. I think is what it's called. Shark. Beast of Talwar. Heat. Hydor. Gladiator Beast. Dark Necromancer. More zombies and fiend support. Specifically around like ritual monsters. Very cool, interesting card. I always like seeing niche support. The more the better for domain. Mitsurugi, Dark Supremacy, like the Diabel, Arcana, Evil Hero, Pyramid Turtle. Never thought I'd see Pyramid Turtle again, to be honest. Another Mitsurugi card. Speedroid. Oh, I saw the back a little bit. I think I got a good hint at what it is. Shark, Delta, Ween, DD Post, Speedroid, and Evil Hero. Nice. Lightstorm Dragon, Crystron, Mitsurugi, Fish, Volcarion, 6-strike, Abyss Team. Oh, Mermail support. I had no idea Mermail was getting support in here. Alright, first half of the box down. I'm going to go faster and sort these later. Crystron, Goddess, Crystron, Hydor, Tempora, Speedroid, Light Force, Perform Pal. Even though these things get spoiled so far in advance, I still feel like I don't know everything about the set all the way until it comes out. Speedroid, Materiactor, Mitsurugi, Colosseum, Materiactor, ooh, Mermail, or Atlantean. Yeah, I was wasting too much time trying to sort this stuff while I went through it. Arcana Force, Materiactor, Shadow Servering Strike, Primite, Mitsurugi Diabel. Let's go! Oh yeah, I'm very excited about this card. Put her in a sleeve. Just good to go. Alright, well, I got one card that I really want. Really hope I get a bow now. I don't think it'll be out of this box because I already got another secret. Speedroid, Lightstorm Dragon, Crystron, Mitsurugi, Speedroid, Delta, Hydor, Volcarion, Argo Stars. I've heard some hype about those. See, stuff like Argo Stars, it makes me like, I'm like, oh, it has like a few pieces of support. I shouldn't have to worry about collecting it. And then later on, they'll probably get more support and I'll want to play it and try it in domain. And I'll be like, ah, dang it, I didn't get the Argo Stars from earlier on. Oh, look. I got the field and the continuous. You guys should actually see the binder of archetypes that I hang on to for possibly later on building around. Oh, Clockwork Knight. I got a buddy who wants that. I'm telling you, man, Link ones were a mistake. Alright, Goddess. Arcana Force. Azamina, Crystron, Toil, Double. Materiactor. I'm definitely most likely going to be highest chance after this box opening, detonating Karibo. Every piece of Yugi Boomer support and Yugi Boomer references, I eat that shit up. Last pack of the first box. I'm definitely making an Evil Hero deck after this. The cards seem pretty cool. Spoils, Arcana, Gladiator Beast, Claudius. All right. These were the secrets. These were the ultras. Box number 2. We still got a chance of getting an A-Bow. I like hiding the rare to the back. Just gonna go through this box pretty quick because we've seen most of the commons already. Dark Necromancer. Ah, man, Liberator Ito. Womp womp. I wasn't excited about that secret at all. Huh. Argo Stars. Fiendsmith Kyrie. I definitely was also looking for the Fiendsmith cards. Don't know if I'll play that one. Ayo. Rex Tremende. I definitely was looking for that one. Claudius. Speedroid. Argo Stars. Argo Stars. Goblin Bikers gone bonkers. Would still really like to get Ether Barrel. Materia Reactor. Ripple Bird. Snake Eyes Doom Dragon. Well, I guess A-Bow might be out of sight now. Otanari Thunder. Abyss Steam. Clear Wing Over Synchron Dragon. Those names are ridiculous sometimes, man. Evil Hero. Crystron. Claudius. Karibo. Reactor. Tenyi Adara. Last pack, I don't think it's going to be anything amazing. Evil Assault. Okay. So these were the secrets and the ultras out of the second box. Alright guys, so now I'm going to take some time to look through the specific archetypes that I am super pumped about. Let's just get started with Gladiator Beast. Probably the biggest upgrade to Gladiator Beast is that they're getting an actually crazy good field spell for the archetype, that is. The first ability is discard a card as cost, so this kind of sucks because if you get ashed, you're left with just being down a card. But you get to add any Gladiator Beast monster from your deck to your hand. Wonderful. When an opponent's monster declares an attack, you can special summon a Gladiator Beast monster from your deck, and it cannot be destroyed by battle. This means if they have to basically walk into this, but if they try to get through, you're going to get a Gladiator Beast, and it's going to not be destroyed by battle. Now, in advance, this isn't a big deal, but in Domain, this has huge politic implications. You can say something like, hey man, if you attack me and let me get a Gladiator Beast, you won't take much damage, it'll survive, I'll be able to tag out into something that can help us right now, like a monster or a spell pop. And even if it's not a political thing, this is going to help you, your survivability so good in Domain format. And then during the end phase of every turn, if a Gladiator Beast monster was special summoned from the deck, you can set any Gladiator trap card from your deck. Now, the way this is worded is incredibly important because there's a lot of cards that say Gladiator, but not Gladiator Beast. So when somebody says search for a Gladiator Beast card, it doesn't always mean you can get a Gladiator card. This straight up lets you get a Gladiator card. So this is a huge improvement. Gladiator Beast fans rejoice. This card's amazing. The deck's also getting a new Test Tiger in Test Bear. It has a built-in summon. If you have a Gladiator Beast monster from the extra deck, you can special summon this card. It does have the restriction of only being able to be special summoned once per turn this way, unlike Test Tiger. But you can tribute this, shuffle a Gladiator Beast monster from your hand or face up on the field into the deck. Special summon 2 Gladiator Beast monsters. They're treated as if special summoned by a Gladiator Beast effect. This is basically a rescue cat for the deck. It's so good, and it doesn't have to be in Test Tiger, like you had to target something that was in play. This can allow you to just throw away something in your hand. It's insane. It gives the deck so much, like a next level of like being able to swarm the field. This is so good. Possibly as a deck master, to be honest. This card is super crazy. I'm over the moon about these new Gladiator Beast cards. You can reveal this card, summon any Gladiator Beast monster from your hand, special summon both of them. What you reveal plus him. If he's special summoned by the effect of a Gladiator Beast monster, like this, you can add a Gladiator spell trap from your deck to your hand. And again, emphasis on the Gladiator part. This means it can get all the Gladiator Beast spell traps and also the Gladiator spell traps. And then it has the tag out ability at the end of battle phase. These cards definitely kind of like help catch up to modern day Yu-Gi-Oh! And I think so far they're great. A new Link 2 is happily welcomed. Very easy to summon because it only needs 2 monsters and only one of them has to be a Gladiator Beast monster. And he has a static effect. During your opponent's battle phase, Gladiator Beast monsters you control cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects. They can just take all the hits and stay in play to activate their effects to tag out. When he's Link summoned, he extends. You can either take a Gladiator Beast from your hand or graveyard and special summon it, but if your opponent has a monster, you can special summon from the deck instead. And it locks you into Gladiator Beast, like whatever, who cares? Even though this doesn't tag out, it's not a big deal because during your opponent's battle phases, it's got crazy good protection for it and the rest of your Gladiator Beasts. And last but not least, the new big bad boss monster of the deck takes 5 Gladiator Beast monsters, and you can contact fuse from play or graveyard. So even though 5 is a lot, makes it significantly easier that it can contact fuse from the graveyard. And when it's summoned, you get to conduct your battle phase twice. And if your opponent activates a monster effect, you can activate one of these 2 effects depending on whose turn it is. If it's your turn, you get to special summon a Gladiator Beast monster from your deck, which will be counted as being special summoned by a Gladiator Beast, right? So you get more, it makes it, this feels a lot like kind of like a Kashtira type card. It's like, if you do something, I get value. So it's not unfair in that it stops your opponent from doing stuff, but it helps with the advantage that they would get by, you know, activating monster effects to hand trap you or whatever. And if it's your opponent's turn, when this activates, you can sort of summon a level 11 or lower Gladiator Beast monster from your extra deck, ignoring its summon conditions. This card's bonkers. This, if you get 2 battle phases in Gladiator Beasts, it's over, man. It's over. I am excited about those for sure. Now, the next archetype I am especially excited for from the set is the cover card, the Evil Heroes. Like I said, I'm a huge sucker for callbacks to, you know, Yu-Gi-Oh! DM, Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. And it's not that I think heroes are like super amazing or anything, but there's just so many of them. There are so many ways you could build heroes in Domain specifically. And now with these new cards, you can specifically lean into the Evil Jaden arc with the Evil Heroes and all that stuff. But this is the new retrain of the Evil Hero Bubble Man. He's got essentially a free built-in summon. You can special summon this card for your hand, but you cannot special summon for the rest of this turn except hero monsters. No big deal, especially if it's mainly a hero deck. And when you do special summon, if you have a fusion monster, that must be fusion with dark fusion. Draw 2 cards. That's kind of crazy, man. That is kind of like, I'm thinking about this being a deck master. Like, it's a free summon. Let's say worst case scenario, you have to start with just summoning this to extend enough to make whatever extra to hero link monster you want to make. That's not the worst. And then if you can sequence it out to where you have a fusion monster in play already when you summon this, being able to pot of greed, that's nice. That is nice. It's not exactly a Stratos, but it's still very, very good. This also can special itself if you have a fusion, one of the fusion monsters out, and then this can foolish burial a monster from your deck and be used as that card for materials of a fusion monster. This is so good. Free extend plus foolish burial, and it's a fusion substitute. I love it. This card says if it's normal or special, you can add a dark fusion from your deck or graveyard to your hand. I think that's really important because obviously you can only play 1 copy of dark fusion. So being able to add it from your graveyard back to your hand, I love it. It's huge. And you can banish this card and 4 other monsters from your graveyard to set a super poly from your deck. You're locked into hero monsters, but you can fusion monsters that must be special summoned with dark fusion using other card effects. So you can use that super poly. Well, I guess you couldn't, right? Because if you're setting a quick play, you wouldn't be able to activate it because it's not a normal card. But either way, this allows you to use something like regular old polymerization among other effects to just fusion out your dark fusion hero monsters. Getting three main deck monsters, pretty big, very nice for the consistency of the deck and all that type of stuff. This is a retrain of Flame Wingman, right? Or the evil one anyway. And again, when she is summoned, you can add a dark fusion from or a card that mentions it from your deck or graveyard to your hand, except fusion monsters. Again, the fact that it can add from graveyard is huge. It lets you reuse your single cards, your dark fusion, multiple times. I think this is great. If any hero monster destroys an opponent's monster by battle, you can inflict 2100 damage to your opponent. That's quite a bit of damage. It's pretty good. Evil Hero Darkest Night. I'm going to refrain from making Batman jokes, but this has a very nice continuous effect. Monsters your opponent controls lose attack equal to the total original attack of the monsters used for this card's fusion summon. I'm going to remind everybody who's watching, continuous effects affect each player possible. So this affects each opponent possible. You know, let's just say you use 2 dinky monsters that have like 1500 attack or less or whatever. That means all your opponent's monsters get 3000 less attack. This is going to make it so easy to take out multiple people in one battle phase. And then not only that, he can attack multiple 2 times each battle phase. If you reduce their attack to 0, that's only 3200 damage just from this guy, but he will allow so much more damage to come through from the rest of your board. And then if it leaves the field by an opponent's card I really like that phrasing. Doesn't have to be battled, doesn't have to be destroyed. It can be banished, it can be whatever. But it floats into another fiend or warrior in your graveyard. Personally, I like that a lot. I think that's like the best way a float effect can be worded right now. Evil Hero Neos Lord. You could use Super Poly for this guy because it takes Elemental Hero Neos or a fusion that mentions it, and an effect monster on the field. So as long as the Hero Neos or the other fusion monster was on the field and the effect monster's on the field, you could use Super Poly to make this guy with that previous effect that allows you to fusion summon, you know, dark fusion monsters with regular fusion effects. Can't be destroyed by battle card effects. If he's special summoned or a monster sent to your opponent's graveyard while this card's on the field, you can target one face-up monster your opponent controls and take control of it. This is going to be extremely obnoxious. If you make this guy and you're not able to kill someone and you pass, if they start doing any type of link climbing, you can just yoink. It doesn't seem that strong, but I can imagine this is incredibly obnoxious to deal with, especially because it can't be destroyed by card effects, so you can't like try and pop it before you start link climbing and stuff. I think it's got pretty meager fusion requirements, and it's also got an incredibly more annoying than you would think ability, so I like him quite a bit. And again, all these cards aren't like, you know, all these extra deck monsters, they're not build a board and make a crazy amount of negates, which I like. I don't like Yu-Gi-Oh cards that's just like build a board, oh look, I've got 3 negates, pass. You know, I just don't like that. So that's why I think the hero stuff is so cool. This is either add to hand or special summon a evil hero monster from your deck. You're locked into hero monsters, and then on a different turn while this is in the graveyard, you can banish it to add dark fusion from your graveyard to your hand. The fact that you're going to be able to reuse your dark fusion so much, I think is huge. It's going to make running this deck buttery smooth. This card lets you use fusion material from banish. It's so good. Field, graveyard, or banishment. You can't use them from hand. I guess that's the most awkward thing. But man, from banish, that's so cool. That's so good. Or it can go get Supreme King's Castle or Dark Fusion from your deck. This can negate a number of face-up cards effects equal to the number of Dark Fusion spells or spells that mention it in your graveyard. So if you've got Dark Fusion plus something else that mentions Dark Fusion in your graveyard, this can negate 2 face-up cards on the field. Now, I think this is incredibly good because it doesn't require you to have like an evil hero face up. You can just like go through everything, and if they wipe you out, you could still set this and it would still be able to negate stuff, as long as you have those cards in your graveyard, right? And then on another turn while it's in the graveyard, you can banish it, target up to 5 hero monsters in your graveyard, or banishment, shuffle them back into the deck. This is all I want in life, is cards that recycle cards. I love this. So that's the evil hero stuff. I'm legitimately excited about it. I can't wait to try it out and mix it with the old evil hero stuff. Another one, because I'm nostalgic, I'm really excited about is the Metal Flame Man Swordsman. So the Metalmorph and the Flame Swordsman support, when I first saw them, I was like, oh, that's cool. They're, you know, kind of a throwback. But then they just kept getting more and more support, and now they have so much support that I think you could legitimately make a whole most of a new domain deck with a lot of this new Metalmorph and Flame Swordsman stuff. And one reason I think they're cool is because these cards say you can reveal them in your hand, add 1 card that mentions Max Metalmorph from your deck to your hand, and if you do, shuffle this card back in the deck. If you don't know, Max Metalmorph summons them from the deck. So a lot of these cards search their cards that summon him. And while he's in play, he's just kind of this monster that attacks your opponents each time they activate a card or effect, and it gets bigger by 300 every time. Super obnoxious. But I'm mentioning it now because I think there's just like a good enough mass of support to build like a new old school Joey type of deck, right? And this is the Metalmorph card that came with him. Not much to say here. It's just, it summons, like previously mentioned, the Metal Flame Swordsman, and while it's equipped, if the equipped monster would be destroyed by battle card effect, you can send this card to the graveyard instead. So it will protect your new tax monster along with, it works with the Metalmorph stuff. So check that stuff out if you remember the old, you know, Joey adjacent. I have to mention Primite. I am particularly excited about Primite because it's a new archetype, but it has the ability to support a lot of older archetypes. If you don't know, the Primite archetype centers around summoning normal monsters from your deck. You can name any normal monster. That means you can find ways to make it work with Dark Magician, Blue Eyes, Red Eyes. There's no limit really, other than making sure it all fits in a domain, right? But the cool thing is, what I've been noticing about these Primite spells, or these Primite cards, is they're very recursive. If anybody knows how I like to build my decks, I like recurability. This being kind of a Stratos-like monster has me excited. If it's normal summoned, you can set a Primite spell trap directly from your deck. Can't be ashed. You can tribute this card, send a normal monster from your deck to the graveyard, and then during your standby phase, if you have a normal monster in your field or graveyard, you can add this card back to your hand. That alone, I think, is huge. And if you don't know, this can be, I would highly suggest you look at the rest of the Primite stuff because they have some pretty insane cards. You know, Ether Barrel plus Drill Beam is just super recursive, because Ether Barrel, during your main phase, if you control a Primite monster, you can set this card from your graveyard, and it doesn't banish itself. This is a quick play, negate any face-up card on the field, and banish it. And you could just keep doing barrel, drill beam, like, and then if you can get Imperial Dragon into the mix, you can tribute this guy during your opponent's turn by tributing a normal monster. You can either negate all effects of face-up monsters your opponent currently controls, or banish all monsters your opponent currently controls with the same type or attribute as a normal monster in your graveyard. So if you don't know about the Primites, you should look into them. They're very cool. I'm going to be picking up a one-of set of all these, maybe even 2 of these, because I think this could be played in a lot of decks. This can negate a normal special summon while you have a level 5 or higher Primite monster, or a normal monster, any normal monster. So you can play this in Blue Eyes. During your standby, if you control a Primite monster, you can set this card from your graveyard. This one does banish itself when it leaves, but still, getting 2 uses out of it is better than 1. So I think everybody's pretty familiar with the rest of the archetypes in this set that are going to really have an impact on the meta, which includes things like Azumina, Fiendsmith, the Mitsurugi stuff. I'm not too excited about those things in Domain, but if you are, I'm happy for you. Me personally, there's some other stuff that I'm quite a bit more interested in. Surprisingly, a lot of them are commons. There's a lot of cool commons in this set. So first off, the first thing I noticed about this card, can we appreciate that Digrapher guy is still trying to riz up DD Warrior Lady? But this can give your monsters 900 attack, depending on how many different types of cards you have banished, which is a pretty decent buff. That's not too hard to get for your whole team. But this card says once per turn during the main phase, you can banish a card from your hand or graveyard. Then you can shuffle one of your banished cards back into the deck. And then if this card is banished, you can place it face up on your field. Obviously, this goes bonkers with Malice, right? But just being able to, like, in a clutch situation, just banish anything to get back something really important from banish. I love these type of cards. Cards that make me scratch my head and wonder, like, how can they be used? I think this card's great. Shadow Severing Strike is another cool card that interacts with things getting banished. If a card is banished from the hand or field to activate a monster effect, you can apply one of the following effects based on one of the card types banished. Monster, negate the effects of one face-up spell trap on the field until the end of turn. Spell, draw 2 cards. Trap, banish 1 monster on the field. If this card is banished to activate a monster effect, you can add one of your other banished cards to your hand. This is another card that, like, makes me think the gears start turning, and I'm wondering what this can work with. I think this card has tons of potential. I gotta give a shout out when a old card gets retrained. I'm sure everybody who played since Legend of Blue Eyes knows about Beast of Talawar. One of those cards that happens to be treated as an Archfiend card. This is also always treated as an Archfiend card. If you control no monsters, you can special summon this card from your hand. This is Cyber Dragon, pretty much. The first time this card will be destroyed by an opponent's card effect each turn, it is not destroyed. Lives through their dark holes and such. Neither player can target other monsters with equipped spell cards or effects. I hope I get to play Arturo in his Mikanko deck with this. Because that's kind of weird. Neither player can target other monsters with equipped spell cards or effects. You know, it's not that big of a deal until somebody's, like, centered or reliant on playing equipped cards. But I think in most cases, I don't think that'd come up very often. But being a free body that can't be destroyed by card effects, opponent's card effects for the first time, pretty interesting. It's a level 7. You can do, like, rank 7 stuff with this pretty easy. So I just had to mention that. I love when old cards get retrained. Grand Knight of the Red Lotus. This is also a retrain. Knight of the Red Lotus. I remember playing this a little bit on Duel Links, but other than that, I've never seen this card. I did like it a lot, so I was very excited to see that it got retrained. It's got the same stats, except for it is 2 levels higher. It's a Fire Warrior, can't be normal set, must be special summoned from your hand or graveyard by shuffling up to 3 non-effect monsters from your graveyard into the deck. Being able to be summoned from the graveyard is pretty huge, and it does say up to 3 non-effect monsters, so it could just be a single non-effect monster. But if summoned this way, it gains 800 attack for each normal monster shuffled into the deck for its summon. So even if it's just 1, it comes out as a 2900. Once per turn, you can target 1 monster on the field and 1 non-effect monster in your graveyard, destroy the monster on the field, and if you do, special summon the monster from your graveyard. I'm in love. I love this card. I really want to play this in my Blue Dragon Summoner deck. Imagine shuffling back Curse of Dragon to summon this guy, and then special summoning Dark Magician from my graveyard and popping a monster on the field. So he fits right in. He's a warrior. He's easy to summon. He could be summoned from the graveyard. He just keeps coming back. It's so funny that I'm so excited over a common in Domain, but legitimately, I cannot wait to jam this in some decks. I have to mention this card because I'm a huge zombie fan and I like the Eldritch deck a lot. This card revolutionizes Eldritch in my opinion. I just want to remind everybody that he says while he's in the graveyard, you can send a spell trap you control to the graveyard, add this card to your hand, then special a zombie from your hand. And if you do until the end of target opponent's turn, it gains 1,000 attack defense, cannot be destroyed by card effects. The important part being you can send a spell or trap to the graveyard while it's in the graveyard. When this card is activated, you can send a level 5 or higher zombie monster from your deck to the graveyard. It's a Foolish Burial, a generic, pretty generic Foolish Burial. Obviously can send to Eldritch. If a zombie's on the field, you can special summon a Delta token, which is a level 5/0/0 dark zombie token, which has applications in Eldritch, obviously, because you could use that token as future material for Mad Golden Lord. If a monster is added from the graveyard to the hand, while this is in your graveyard, you can add this card to your hand. So Eldritch activates in graveyard, sends this as cost. Eldritch is then added from your graveyard to your hand, which would mean that a monster was added from your graveyard to your hand while this was in your graveyard. It turns the -1 of sending a spell to the graveyard from Eldritch negligible. It gives you the token for the fusion material for this, and it comes back into your hand to use again next turn. This card is bonkers. And it's uncommon. Oh man, I'm throwing this straight into my zombie deck, which has Eldritch in it, obviously. If you're a fan of the Poker Knights, this card's also pretty revolutionary for your deck. Target level 5 or lower monster you control, add a level 10 monster from your deck to your hand with the same original type. Then you can discard a card. If you do, special summon a monster from your hand with the same type in defense position. You can't special for the rest of this turn after this card resolves, except monsters with the original type. As you can see, this is Poker Knight support. You would target one of your Poker Knights, doesn't matter who, add Triumph Joker to your hand, discard something else, which plenty of the cards recycle themselves like Joker's Knight, and then summon this. It's in defense position to be fair, but it would allow you to use this other effect to discard a card and destroy all cards of the type that you discarded. And because that's a quick effect, you could do this on your opponent's, you could summon it on your opponent's turn, switch it back into attack, activate it to wipe the board, and then go for the attack. And in Domain, she says she gains 500 attack times the combined number of cards in both players' hands. In Domain, that is each player's hands. Yes, each player's hands. I'm sure as everybody saw on the card market Domain video, you should go check that out if you haven't. I also had to mention this card because this card's pretty revolutionary for the Joker Knight deck. This is essentially honorary Blue Eyes support. Takes a tuner and a non-tuner, level 9, level 8 Blue Eyes plus a level 1 tuner, anyone? If this card's special summoned, which is kind of a crazy line of text, but it doesn't have to be synchro summoned. It's just when it's special, if it's special summoned, you can target spell traps on the field equal to the number of normal monsters in your graveyard plus 1. Destroy them. So if you just have Blue Eyes in your graveyard, you can pop 2 spell traps on the field. And then if this gets destroyed by battle card effect, you can target a spell trap in your graveyard, set it, but it cannot be activated unless you control a normal monster, which obviously in Blue Eyes is not that big of a deal. But getting back Pot of Greed, whatever, whatever, any spell trap, pretty huge. Mix this with some Primite stuff, you know what I'm saying? This is just a very cool generic synchro. I like it a lot. This still has the weird sample watermarks or whatever, but this card's still really cool. I have to mention it for all you OGs out there who played Pyramid Turtle like I did. Banish a zombie monster from your hand or graveyard, send a zombie monster from your deck to the graveyard, and as I'm sure a lot of you know, there are quite a bit of zombies that can activate from being banished, so keep that in mind. Send a zombie monster from your deck to the graveyard. It's a Foolish Burial, not too shabby. When your zombie monster is destroyed by battle, you can banish this card from your graveyard, special summon a zombie monster with 2,000 or less defense from your deck. It basically turns whatever zombie that just got destroyed into a Pyramid Turtle. I love the callback. This is so cool. All right, guys, that was a lot, but that's pretty much everything I'm really excited about for Supreme Darkness. I can't wait to go through these cards I just got. I'm gonna start throwing some stuff together. Gonna have to try and finish off the Gladiator stuff I need and the Primite stuff I need. I can't wait to start brewing after this set comes out. I think the set was huge. I want to make a video about it. I hope you guys like it. Is there something you guys specifically are excited about? Are you guys gonna be trying the Argo Stars or the Arcana stuff? I would love to know what you guys think about the set. Let me know down below in the comments. If you guys like this type of content where I open some packs and talk about the set as a whole, let me know. I don't know exactly how to gauge these, so any input would be helpful. Thank you everyone who watched. I appreciate you all. Until the next set comes out, I'll see you then.